Where's the brush? Where is the brush that I need? Hey guys, so in today's video, we're going to be doing a quick get ready with me, and I'm going to be featuring the Divine Rose 2 by Pat McGrath. Has quickly become one of my favorite palettes. So we're also going to be talking about the Will and Jada Pinkett Smith situation, or entanglement, as she had said in her interview. All right, let's go ahead and start. I'm just gonna prep my lips with this Summer Fridays lip butter. I just got it a few days ago. I must say, I do like it. The only thing I don't like is the tube. It's one of these metal tubes that once you squeeze it, it just continues to flow out, so you waste a lot of product. I prep my lids with some primer from Smashbox. A little notes over here. I'm prepared, guys. I'm prepared because it was a lot going on in this situation. So let's talk about what happened. Maybe you don't know what happened. Maybe you've just heard it. You haven't really watched the video. But really what happened is the rapper August Alsina came out and said that he had an affair with Jada Pinkett Smith. All right, let's go in with this blush color. Said that he came out, did a whole interview and said he had an affair with Jada Pinkett Smith. And I didn't really watch his interview because, I don't know, I just felt it. I mean, I get how he was hurt and why he came out about it. Because he felt used, I'm assuming. Like I said, I didn't watch his interview. But also a lot of people were saying that he did it on purpose because he has an album dropping and it was kind of like a publicity stunt. So I don't know, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But anyways, that prompted Jada Pinkett Smith to bring herself to the red table. So I'm sure you guys know she has this talk show called The Red Table, and it's on Facebook. She brings on various guests to talk about different things that are happening currently. So she's like, okay, I have to bring myself to the red table to tell you guys what happened between me and August. So she gets there. Will is interviewing her because they're still married, even though it came out that she had an affair. So he's asking her questions like, okay, what really happened with August? And it gets kind of weird because she's kind of explaining what happened. Like, August came into our lives, meaning into the family's life, a couple years ago. And when he came into their lives, he was very sick. I believe they said he had drug issues and he has an autoimmune disease. Both Will and Jada agreed that when he came into their lives, he was a very sick dude. It was like he was sick. We didn't know like if he was gonna make it or not. So she talks about how he came into their lives and then they got into an entanglement. So right off the bat, when she came out with this word entanglement, people were just like, why can't you say that you cheated? So then she further goes on to say that her and Will were separated at the time. So maybe in her mind, she doesn't see it as cheating because they were both separated amicably. So Will also agrees with this. He says, yes, we were separated. He said, I didn't even know if I was ever going to talk to you again. He didn't say what led them to the separation, only that they were separated. So my question to you guys is it still cheating, even though they're legally married, but they said that they were separated? Both parties said that they were separated. Do we have a right to judge on who actually cheated and who didn't cheat? That's one of the things that I was kind of like questioning. Is it anybody's business what goes on in their relationship? To me, that's a hard no. It's none of anyone's business what goes on. But since August made it public, she had to address it because rumors were just swirling left and right. People were saying they have an open marriage. It's been going around the industry that they've had an open marriage, I would say, for years. They bring other people into their relationship. They're swingers. I've heard it almost all about their relationship. So they didn't confirm or deny that they have an open relationship. Will just said they discussed this and he knew that they were separated at the time and this was years ago and he didn't understand why it was resurfacing now. To address Will Smith too, people were saying that in the video he looked so hurt. His eyes looked bloodshot, like he was just crying. To me, I don't know if he was really sad or not, because it was them who brought themselves to the red table. It wasn't like it was a third party. It wasn't like it was a scheduled interview that they couldn't postpone. So if he was truly having an issue with what was happening and he wasn't ready to talk about it just yet, he could have rescheduled. Like, you know, it's their show. They don't have anyone telling them that they have to come on at this date and this time to do the interview. A few problems that people were having with Jada Pinkett Smith is that, one, she already said that when August came into their lives that he was sick. You know, they both knew that he was physically, emotionally not well. And for her to go ahead and embark on an entanglement with him just seems wrong on all levels. Outside of the cheating and outside of, you know, that she has a husband and a family, but for her to be the older person in the relationship, so knowing that he is not, you know, mentally or of sound mind, for her to go ahead and continue that was kind of like her using her power. And that's where a lot of people found a lot of fault with her relationship with August. I'm not sure what their like entanglement meant to each of them. She said that he had just cut it off and stopped talking to her. So she was very confused as to why, you know, he decided to go public. And of course, we'll never know like the actual true story as to what happened. Like, he was saying that he felt he had permission from Will Smith because they were separated. So he wanted to make it seem like, oh, he's not a homewrecker, even though he knew that she was still legally married. So there's faults on both sides. Do you guys think that Jada was ultimately wrong? Like, outside of the fact that she was married, like, do you think it was wrong for her to partake in a relationship with August knowing that he was not mentally well? For me, I kind of do have an issue with that, just in the sense because if you're on drugs, if you are sick, you don't know the extent of your sickness. It's kind of playing with your mental, you're just really not yourself. You know what I mean? So I kind of do find a little bit of fault in her for partaking in a relationship knowing that he wasn't well. And I am a advocate for people make their own decisions. How long was this entanglement going on? I believe August was a willing participant, even though he was not in his right mental state. Honestly, I don't even know if he was in a bad state or not, but from the way they're portraying it, they're saying that, you know, he was sick. And that could mean that his mental was off. But I kind of believe I find fault in both parties, in both August and Jada. Because as people, when we're moving through life and doing things to kind of find happiness and joy, we make those decisions to go ahead and move forward. Even though it may be wrong at the time, we push forward because we're in hopes of finding that happiness, that joy. Going for a smoky eye here, like a smoky gold eye. Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith's relationship. They both go into, I'm gonna grab the brown from her Bronze Seduction palette. They've been married over, you know, I think over 20 years, or been together over 20 years. So they both go into saying that they are so thankful to one another that they've been able to make mistakes and grow and, you know, learn from their transgressions and not have that fear of losing their family. I'm guessing they both had a conversation somewhere along the way and said, we are going to be in this together forever, no matter what. And a lot of people can't like wrap their minds around that. If you feel like you found your life partner, someone you feel understands you and will always understand you, is cheating a deal breaker for you? Is cheating the one thing that will end every single good thing that that person has done for you or has been for you in that situation? Is that the final decision maker for you guys? Let me know your thoughts down below. So I hear a number of things when it comes to this topic. So basically, I've heard women and men say, if my spouse cheats on me, that is the end of our relationship. Then I've also talked to people who've gone through the situation. So it's very easy to live in a glass house and look out and kind of speak on things that you haven't been through yourself. Now, I'm not married, in case you guys didn't know, and I've been grappling with this question on, if I was married, would I end my 20-year relationship over one transgression? And to be honest, I don't really know. I would love to say that if my husband ever, my hypothetical husband, if my hypothetical husband ever cheats on me, that would be the end of the relationship, because that's what society teaches us. You know, you pick one spouse and you get married and you stay married until death do you part. Come on, it's a part of your vows. So society tells us that we are supposed to be monogamous beings, and if we make that commitment of marriage, that is the most important thing in our lives to uphold. That's why I feel like back in the day, when people were getting married, they wouldn't get divorced because it was seen as a failure. So do you really want to go through life with a partner to say that you failed? I know a lot of people look at that as the ultimate failure, and that's not something they're willing to do. I look at it two ways, right? Say your husband has been your best friend, he's perfect, he knows, well, no one's perfect, but you know, he's perfect for you. He knows everything you want. You know, you guys have just always had good times. And say he cheats on you, right? This one time he cheats on you. I'm gonna get into the different types of cheating too. So, for cheating, there are obviously two types of cheating, and is it different for you guys, or is it all the same thing? So there's the emotional cheating. Someone that you find and you can talk to, you like fall in love with that person, and you become their confidant, their friend, their person. And then there is just the straight physical cheating. Are those two things one and the same, or are they different? Can you tolerate just the physical cheating over the emotional cheating? Can you guys? Is there a difference? Can you differentiate? I suck at this. I'm supposed to be doing my makeup too. So, like I was saying, back to the scenario. Your husband, he's a great husband. He's a great provider. He's a great father. You know, you guys have built this life together. Are you okay with giving up that life because of one transgression? Or the other half is, if you give him a pass on cheating, will this become the norm of your relationship? Those are questions that you have to ask yourself, you know? Or is cheating something that you can live with for the sake of your marriage and your family? Is that something that can be forgiven, you know? Is that going to be the precedence for your relationship? Look at it from the woman's perspective. There's this one girl that your husband cheated with. Is that enough to throw away 25 years of marriage, kids, a loving relationship, and everything that you've built because of this one person? And like I said, I don't really have an answer. Like, I would love to say, boom, I'm going to be out if my man cheats on me. And you got to look at it like, am I letting the other person win because they broke up my marriage? You know, where I take fault with it too. So a lot of people will blame the person that the husband cheated with or the wife cheated with, when you should be blaming your spouse, right? So I kind of look at it as, you know, that person that your spouse cheated with, they didn't take vows to honor you until death do them part. That was your spouse. I hear all the time online that women are like, oh, if I found out my man was cheating and who he was cheating with, definitely going to be a fight. I'm going to beat her down. Shorty, you got the wrong type of energy for the wrong person. Yes, the person that knew the person was in a relationship is wrong, but it takes two to tango. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct or correct? I love that. Listen, correct or correct. If I am in a relationship and I found out that my man cheated, I'm best believe I'm taking it up with my man. Unless the girl is coming to me on some, oh,
I want to fight you for your man and this, that, and the third.
she could step. She gonna get her karma, you know. Who am I to try to be judge, jury, and executioner? Nah, I'm taking it up with my man. That I feel like that's where a lot of people go wrong. Was August wrong for going and telling their business? Because everyone knows who the Smiths are. Everyone knows that they're married. What was he trying to prove with him coming out with this story? Was he just being butthurt? And I think he was hurt by the situation. If it was really years ago, why would it be coming out now? There had to be something that prompted him to come out now. I'm looking into it as a person, and I'm thinking that he's feeling a little bit used and abused because Jada said that her and Will started reconciling. I guess August just cut things off. August just cut communication off. And her and Will started reconciling. So I'm sure that he was telling him, like, oh, Will and I are separated. We're going to get a divorce. And she had this man out on the red carpet. Are you kidding me? Like, the ultimate lady. Like, you know how you have a boy? This is the ultimate girl. She was parading this boy all over the red carpet, making him feel special. I'm sure she was feeding him a buttload of lies. I'm not even gonna front. I'm sure that's what was happening. Get this blended out so we can go ahead and put the color on our lid. So I had to cut the crease off camera. And to cut the crease, I just used some P. Louise base. Let's jump right back on into the topic. Now, obviously, Will Smith and Jada, they are famous. They have money. So that is the next point. Money. Does money play the ultimate key role in your decision? Do you guys think that money is the ultimate driving factor on why they're staying together? Please let me know. A lot of everyday regular couples stay together once there's been cheating in the relationship. You know, that's why there's marriage counseling and things of that nature. But I really think that the Smiths, they sat down early on in their relationship knowing that they were both going to be reaching higher status in their Hollywood careers, and they sat down with each other and came up with a plan and kind of like trying to stick to it. Will said that when he married Jada, he told her that he was going to love her through anything. And she said, you know, I really didn't believe you. He has proven her wrong in a sense because she thought that he wasn't strong enough to handle her battles. He wasn't strong enough to handle her shortcomings, which he obviously is standing by her. I don't really know. Honestly, like their interview was so weird. Like it was such a weird vibe. Towards the end, you know how he's in Bad Boys, right? So towards the end, he's like, I haven't seen Bad Boys in forever, but I feel like the saying goes, so we ride together, we die together. You know, it goes Bad Boys for life. And they both say, so we ride together, we die together, bad marriage for life. Bad marriage for life. That kind of caught me off guard. Like, you guys know that you have a bad marriage? I was like, so, like, the atmosphere between those two was so awkward. Like, I don't really know. I can picture, like, them living in, like, their big-ass house in two separate quarters because it seemed so awkward, honestly. So I really don't know if they're just staying together because of the money aspect and the image that goes along with it. So for the lids, I think I'm going to use this gold color up here. I really think that money played a huge role in them staying together because, as you know, they say, you know, it's cheaper to keep her or, you know, it's cheaper to keep him. So I honestly think they are seen as a quote-unquote power couple in the industry, and they're not going to separate. I kind of feel like August forced them to talk about this transgression because also at the end, Will Smith was like, oh, I'm going to get you back for this, you know, like in a playful kind of manner, like, you cheated, I'm going to cheat. And then Jada was like, well, you've gotten me back plenty of times, you know, kind of alluding to the fact that Will has had his transgressions. As you can imagine, he is Will Smith. He travels the world. I'm sure there are plenty other, young women throwing themselves at him, and I can 100% bet almost everything in my house that he has cheated in their relationship. So just don't get the uproar in people being so angry at Jada Pinkett Smith for cheating. It's usually the guy who gets caught cheating, and this time, since it's a woman, I feel like people are having such a hard time with it. Where was all of this uproar when Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce? Okay, I'll wait. Exactly. Like, I really feel like people just have their priorities out of whack. And like I said, to us, the citizens who don't have any say or any business worrying about Will and Jada Pinkett Smith and what they have going on in their private lives, just really not for us to talk about or to like pass judgment on. Like, yes, we can talk about it because, it's kind of cool to see that even money does not absolve you from everyday problems. Kind of get like why people are really talking on it. I know that the money factor plays a huge role in them staying together. But then I may be wrong, because please let me know if that is something you could tolerate without money. You know what I mean? Hey Google, what time is it? It's 5:05 p.m. and I'm supposed to be out of here by 5:30. So let's go ahead and, hurry up and get the show on the road. I just think in regards to Will actually cheating in their marriage, I think that he probably got the people he cheated with sign a NDA, non-disclosure, so that, if they said anything, he would sue them. I'm pretty sure that's what happens. And maybe from now on, Jada will do the same thing. She'll follow suit and having these people sign NDAs. And another thing about that interview, it was so weird how they were both calling him Aug. August, they've shortened his name. Like, they still care about the dude. It was really weird. I don't, in the beginning, they were all cool. All the family hung out. Can you imagine being Jaden and Willow in this situation? Because I believe that they said August started coming around and hanging out with Jaden first. So can you imagine knowing this dude was cool with you and then he's trying to sleep with your mom? That just seems kind of crazy. I might want to deepen them up a little bit. I'll deepen up the outer crease just a teensers. Alright, so let's move on from the eyes. Gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is just a nice base to put down. It's kind of shimmery. But like I said, I definitely feel that people are taken aback because it was the woman in the relationship who cheated. You never hear all of this uproar when it's the man, honestly. I would really like to know from you guys, is cheating something that can really be forgiven? You found out your spouse cheated on you, and you do take the steps to go forward with your relationship. Is that something that's always going to come up? If they say that they're working late, do you believe them? Or in the back of your mind, is it running through your mind like, oh, he might be cheating on me? And does it like kind of transpire throughout your relationship? Does it like bubble over? Is that something that can just be forgotten in the past? You broke my favorite antique vase. Is cheating something that can be swept under the rug? Do some concealer, some spot concealing. I've actually stopped wearing foundation during the summer. And now that we have to wear these masks every time we go in to a place, I've just been using concealer. And it's honestly been working out really well. For me, I think it would always be in the back of my mind. They're going to the grocery store. They've been gone a whole hour, and did they stop to see their side chick? I do have another question for you guys. So do you guys believe that everything happens for a reason? Do you guys believe that, if you believe in God, do you believe that he has everything written out from the day that we were born, and it's faith, it's destiny, no matter what is going to happen? A lot of people say, what's meant to happen will happen, and what's for you will happen. So my kind of like flaw with that theory is, does God want us to hurt? Like, there's people who've gone through lots of situations, like, being cheated on. That does hurt. Why would God bring me through all that pain? Why did he write it into my life story? That's where I would be asking the question. Now I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury, the Hollywood Contour Wand. I do love this contour wand. It looks really dark when you put it on, but it blends out really nicely. So I use a damp beauty blender to blend that out. So go ahead and set my under eyes with a little powder. Question I have for you guys is, for folks who are in a relationship or in a marriage, when you enter into your relationship or your marriage, do you have a conversation with yourself on what you can accept and what you can't accept? And do you compromise on those things? You know, you have a set of things in your mind that you can accept or you can't accept. And if those things are broken, do you just move on? I'm going to go in with some Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer. This has turned out to be quite the Charlotte Tilbury video. Did not intend it to be. So for blush, we're going to use this peachy color in the Pat McGrath palette. You guys know how I do love that as a blush. Highlighter, we're also going to be using the Pat McGrath palette in this color down here that I love. I don't think I'm going to put on lashes because I really don't feel like it, but I think I'm going to end the video here and kind of end on my thoughts on the whole situation. My question is to you guys, are monogamous relationships a thing of the past? Is it absurd for us to think that our partners will be satisfied with just one person for the rest of their lives? And is cheating something that can ultimately be forgiven with work and dedication to the relationship? Does the saying, oh, he cheated, but he came back home to me, is that something that holds true in this generation? Is that something that we're moving towards? It sounds absolutely crazy that people will accept cheating as a part of a relationship, you know, as a part of growing pains. I honestly don't know. I'm very conflicted on the situation. You can see how a lot of work will go into marriage and kind of, you know, keeping your family together. But then are you teaching, say you have daughters or sons, are you teaching your kids that it's okay to cheat in a relationship? Are people just going to be partaking in open marriages and open relationships? Because then you're honest with one another. You're not having to lie. You find someone attractive, but you still love your wife. That's another question too. Can you be in love with multiple people at one time? Again, that is another question that I don't know the answer to. It is completely crazy to me, honestly, to think about these things. So please let me know your comments down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.